You lower the volume just a bit. Never. For you, never. Alright, how do I do that? All better. An audio-visual novella. My head pounded, ears still ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I've had in years left me, feeling like I'd been punched in the jaw. But like any other day, I dragged myself in the office. There was a notice on the door from Mayor Vanetti's office. Permits out of date. They didn't like me much and were trying to drown me in paperwork. So slow month, weeks since I'd had any real cases to work on, so I passed the time by pacing the office, smoking, and staring at the mirror in the corner. Safely covered with an old bedsheet. I don't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see, afraid someday I might have to face what I really am. The girl came in so quiet I nearly choked on my cigarette. Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister. Mister, please. God. Calm down, sit down, talk slow. Yeah, what can I help you with? You ever hear of knocking first? Calm down. Okay, thanks. It's just no one will listen to me. Just tell me your tale, I'm listening. She eyed me with a dash of suspicion. I tossed back a handful of pills, chased them with a swing of whiskey. I could tell this might take a while. Her name was Lily. She told me she was his mistress, the man all over the newspapers, infamous banker, Dr. Reginald Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth was drunk, philandering bastard, but this girl seemed genuinely concerned that he had gone missing. Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago. You don't understand. He couldn't have done it. He hated his wife, but he couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him. No one believes me. He's gone and be in trouble. I ain't saying I believe you, but it makes you think he's in danger. Case looks pretty simple to me. What's in danger? Well, Mr. Jack, you can call me Jack. Jack, whoever did this to his wife must have been one of the who took him. He would have never left me. He promised me. Oh, gosh. Sure, Mr. Farnsworth, this poor girl, a lot of things. Please, the cops won't listen to me, and they want to bring him in on charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him. Honestly, I doubt there's in much of a hurry. Farnsworth had practically the entire force in his deep pockets, probably why they haven't found much yet. If they found him, brought him in, they would do in public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than one man with money. Got my curiosity, but you might not like what I found. I like that one. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you, but please, be careful. I don't think this was any murder or kidnapping. I think it was a beast. Beast. The word struck me funny, like when you jar your elbow on a hard corner. That sounds awful. Not a word many use these days except in hushed whispers and bedtime stories for children. Oh, they were real enough, all right. They just got better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges, but I hadn't seen any monsters in nearly 15 years, back when I was still a cop myself. This is interesting. So this is a world where monsters just casually exist. I like that. It was definitely an interesting theory. I just have a feeling about it. Something tells me you can get to the bottom of it. You're this sort of thing. Sure. Can you see how busy I am with this case? I relied too harshly. Sarcasm wasn't my strong suit. I reached her more and sent her on her way. I don't want to scare her, but I warned her she'd keep her doors locked and call me if she saw something suspicious. I didn't know if she's in danger herself, but safe than sorry. This game is cool. Ugh. The day I made my way down to Central Park, it was a long shot, but maybe there was something there the cops had missed. Next chapter. That was an entire chapter? Seems already picked clean by the cops days ago. I've got a knack for finding things others overlook. A knack, more of a symptom of a condition. Other less useful symptoms I keep in check. For the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy. It was faint, but I could smell it before I even approached the police line. The scent was the lasting thing, was more than emotion. Something on that tree. Seduction. Oh my. Strangely familiar smell. expected the sound of trepidation or maybe outright fear, but Miss Farnsworth seemed to have the height of pleasure when she left this world. Brought new meaning of crime of passion. This is interesting. Pushing the thought from my mind, it was time to get down to business. Investigate the scene. Lamp. Can you all see my mouse? I hope you can see my mouse. Oh. Burn mark on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran my finger across its length and felt a chill down my spine. What do you mean burn mark? This is the mark of an ancient magic. It's doubtful the cops would have picked up on it. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here? But I was no stranger to the strange. What am I looking at? Muddy footprints here, difficult to pick out from anything else the cops left behind in their haste. But cops don't wear 2,000 pairs of coronas? Interesting. Do you? Like Mr. Farnsworth was there that night and walked away on his own 2 feet. Looking around the long guy realized the park was giving up all its hiding from me, so I trekked back to my apartment and hit my pillow like it owed me money. I love that analogy. The next morning I was reeling from another bout of ghoulish nightmares, but I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already outside my office. She waited wordlessly as I unlocked the door, ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. I motioned for her to step inside, seemingly afraid of what I might say. She finally worked up the courage and asked, "So what did you find?" Got new. I'm not sure about beast. Something natural is play. There might be something to worry about. Monsters found. Smells mark. Well, I guess some good news. Probably shouldn't have given her false hope like that, but she seemed like she needed something to hold on to right then. She didn't need to know about the mark on the tree. So how do you know that? Where is he? Found his footprints. He was out safely. There were signs he was at the scene and slipped away. My tone was indifferent towards her as I turned and grabbed a bottle in my desk drawer. The dryness in my throat made it difficult to swallow my meds. But you don't know where he went. Do you think the news this morning is related? What news is that? Haven't you heard? Nope, rough night followed by a rough morning. Found Police Chief's wife dead down by the docks. They say it happened last night. Oh gosh. My face might have betrayed a hint of satisfaction. She confirmed my suspicions, but faded quickly. Amato was the shit cop and the shit chief. He was half the reason I left the force, but now his wife was dead and I had more questions I did the day before. The gears in my head started to spin, which wasn't helped by the splitting pain in my temples. I told Lily I needed time to work, and she left slightly dejected, wanting more answers than I could provide. Oh, I forget my camera's in the corner again. I don't know. I might move it. That night after the cops had cleared out the docks, I would slip down and see what I could uncover concerning Miss Amamoto's untimely demise. Complete Chapter 3. I'm flying through this. Cold air smelling salt and oil and death. Could it be? The smell again, like someone bottled pure arousal and used it as perfume. This is interesting. It hit me for long, but the essential fume soon gave way to a rush of adrenaline. I knew exactly what that scent reminded me of. That scared me more than not knowing. I looked down at my hands, shaking the nightmares, the headaches. No, I was better now. Reformed. I had to focus, no jumping to conclusions, follow the evidence. Hello. Lamp. What is that? There's a small piece of purple fragment torn and caught in the splinter of a board. The police report didn't say anything about Miss Amaro was wearing purple, but it's certainly a quality that you wouldn't expect to find out here. Don't see too many high society types around floating royal purple threads. Chains. Red Phoenix cigarette, same shitty brand I smoke every day. Everybody's got their vice. I pulled out my own pack of Reds and lit up. I could hardly feel another headache coming on, but looked over the waves seemed to help me forget. The cold helped me push down from the uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling in the top of my brain. I honestly don't remember the walk back to the office. Apparently I spent the night in the easy chair. The air docks lingered on my clothes. It was still dark out. No, I checked the clock. How long had I been out? Had I really slept through the entire next day? I've done that one time in my life, never again. The newspaper was sitting out under the door. I stood to fetch it. I nearly fell over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I steadied myself, regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Mayor missing, wife found dead. 2 cases is a coincidence, 3 is a pattern. The cops would come asking questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all their victims. Oh no. I stumbled to my desk, slammed back 3 days worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure. Threw on my jacket, went to the door. Lily caught me off guard on the other side. Jack, where are you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day. I got busy. I'm off to Miss Vernetti's crime scene. Okay, but we need to talk when you get back. Stay safe. She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek, and I rushed off. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it would be okay, but it would be a lie. So this guy is the monster? That's my guess. That's my going guess. I was located behind a high-rise apartments where Mayor Vanetti and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked now. The crime scene was even sloppier than the last. They hadn't even bothered to submit a trash into evidence. Oh, what's in the trash? Why wouldn't they at least look in the dumpster? It seemed untouched. No one wants to do the dirty work. But I know how to find the good stuff. It really doesn't take long if you know what to look for. Lightweight bags usually mean something was dumping documents. If you're lucky, they didn't bother to shred them. Jackpot. Shell companies, shady shock trades, bribes. I knew Mayor Vanetti was crooked, but this was unbelievable. And there was more. Letters between Mayor Vanetti, Chief Anmano talking about me. How were they trying to get me to shut down? They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me from snooping around this one. Car door. Okay. Vanetti's car. If he's still alive, why wouldn't he have left in this car? Doesn't make any sense. I obviously wasn't too motivated to find him. The stakes were too high and bet was edging towards the unthinkable. As I searched around for anything might assure my fears, I caught that scent again. It overwhelmed my other senses with an unaimed pleasure. It was intoxicating. A weapon used in the weak-willed, a weapon I knew all too well. Though it had been many years since I had to use it. Was there another like me, and was I being framed? Was it possible? Was it? I was taking my inhibitors. I was reformed. The nightmares, the headaches, the memory lapses. I couldn't even trust myself. I started walking back to the alley when something shiny caught my eye. A watch. Not just any watch, though. My watch. Oh my Jesus. This has a really good story. How long had my wrist been bare? Surely I dropped it when I first came in the alley. I checked the time just before I left the office, hadn't I? Or had I used the wall clock? I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be sure of anything. So I ran. Next chapter. It isn't going to take any time at all. I didn't know why I ran in the office. Cops would probably show up at any minute to knock on the door, cart me away. They would put it together before long. Maybe it would be best for everyone if I simply faced my own reflection. But Lily was still there waiting for me. Jack, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. My own ghost come back to haunt me from the past. You're not making any sense, Jack. Come sit down. You don't understand. You're not safe around me. I took a good long last look at her as I prepared to shove her out the door. I noticed she was wearing the same thing she had on when she first came to my office 3 days ago. A beautiful purple dress. Odd that I hadn't really noticed it before, but it made her seem out of place, out of time. And it was frayed beyond the edges, torn in places. My chair caught my fall as my knees failed me. It was you. You're the monster, succubus. This is so cool. This is so cool. Oh, Jack, we're one and the same, you and I. We're both monsters. I simply am more honest with myself. There's no such thing as ray formation. Those pills you take will only make you dull. But beasts like us should never have suppressed our true natures as you have, Incubus. Those men were probably dead too now, I figured. She probably took them to her lair, harvest their seed. Ugh. So have you done this all to wake me up? You could say that, though it seemed enough to have you doubt yourself. You believed you were capable of such horrors, which means deep down you probably are. You can't escape it now. I need you to complete the deed. You took my watch and messed with my head. But don't act like I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you and wanted you gone. Now they are gone. I mustered the strength to stand again, moving casually to the window in the corner. She was right about one thing. I was dull, weak compared to her. If I refused her, she attacked me. I was a dead man. I had to keep her talking. I've never met a succubus who seduces and kills women. Oh please, such a 14th century stereotype. I don't discriminate when it comes to pleasure of the flesh. But I do need an incubus like yourself to take the tainted seed man and plant it among the fertile masses for me. That's awful. I'm tired of draining my lovers just to survive. I'm ready to settle down and start a family. That mechanical laughter. Positioned carefully, making sure she was looking in my direction. Sorry, but I'm not your guy. The flick of my wrist, I whipped the old bedsheet off the corner mirror. Lily was blinded by her own reflection and sucked into the mirror with a painful monster scream, trapped. Shielded my own eyes, I pulled a revolver from my side door, I aimed for the mirror, and fired. Story and program by Tyler Owen. This was awesome. It's just a small little novel story, but that's really amazing. It's interesting. There's some more from their stuff. Alright, that was A Monster Inside. And I think I'm going to call it